going on? It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? Today is Feel Good Friday. It is February 7th. It is 10 a.m. Central Time, and I hope that you are off to an amazing start, and I hope that all your dreams come true this weekend. What's going on, fam? Let me know where you're watching from inside the comment box every day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central Time, right here on Bama Football on YouTube. 112,000 subscribers. These are also uploaded to Spotify and iTunes later on in the day. Today on the show, we're going to talk about Roq Montgomery's comments to the Bama Standard. Talking about addressing the mentality of the team last year, right? Being late to meetings, the jewelry. Love the comments, right? Bama Standard had the video interview with Montgomery, right? We're also going to talk about Patrick Surtain, one of the greats from Alabama under Coach Saban in that secondary that just won the Defensive Player of the Year award in the NFL. Also from Yale, Alabama, the Crimson Tide's homecoming game will be November 15th against Oklahoma. I like that. All right. So, and then following that, you guys posted questions for me to answer on our Feel Good Friday show. So that's what we're doing today. It's Feel Good Friday. I hope you guys are off to a blessed day. I see you guys inside the comment box. Shaq Adams, what's going on? Could I get a roll tide? Dwight, what's up? Kimberly, checking in. It's me, Marvin, what's up? One Bama fan, 18, I see you. Raise the bar, Nicole. Stanford Mom, what's going on? Checkmate, Jeff Stapleton, everybody locked and loaded. All right, so let's get it going. From the jump, this was great. So Bama Standard, good people at Bama Standard. Really good thing going on over there. They had an interview with Roq Montgomery. And straight up he said this, look, you can't be late to workouts no more. No more jewelry, no more necklaces, none of that. It's not a fashion show, it's football. Yo, this was a powerful quote. Everybody in the world that covers college football was talking about this quote. Roq Montgomery, I'm glad to see some leadership starting to step up and speak about some of the things that I think we all were wondering about from like a culture standpoint with Alabama under Coach Kalen DeBoer. I don't know if Roq Montgomery's going to start, but damn, he's already acting like a leader, and I love it. I don't know about like the jewelry and the necklaces. It was something that was certainly different under Coach Kalen DeBoer than Nick Saban. I didn't really see that. I saw players like doing interview with like, you know, sunglasses and stuff. I don't know if that affects the overall mentality, but you like being late to workouts, that is an absolute no. And he's right. It's not a fashion show. And the other thing is, like, some people have an issue with, like, these guys dancing and stuff like that. I don't know if that's too big of an issue, but I think the big issue is that first one. Because if you're late to anything, that tells me where your priorities are. Your priorities are not where they should be. If you have a start time, I remember when I played football, okay, when I played college football, if we had practice at 6 a.m., we were supposed to be there 15 minutes before that. That has stuck with me through life. I'm one of the first people at any type of event. That's a priority. And when you have your priorities in line and when you are early, that means it's important to you. I can't even believe that people were late to workouts. That blows my mind. And that shows kind of the lack of discipline, which is concerning under Coach Kalen DeBoer, because I don't think that flew with Coach Saban. And again, this is coming from just one player, and I don't know if this was every single time, but it is a breath of fresh air at this point in time when you're getting the fourth quarter program and kind of dialed into the next year that somebody is speaking up and they're saying, listen, this is what we're doing here, and it is college football. Dwight inside the comment box saying Josh Pate said something about this. He said maybe they were being a little bit lax because they were trying to save the roster. I can see that point of view. I would probably roll with a little bit more of an iron fist, though. I'd have been like, look, this is going to be the way, and if you're going to be late, the doors are going to be locked, and you're going to pay for it. And if you're late again, there's going to be other consequences until you're no longer part of this program. because this is the standard that we want to maintain. We want to maintain the right psychological disposition is a word that Coach Saban always talked about, which was tied into the standard of the program. It doesn't matter if you're a starter, if you're a walk-on, be early. Don't be late to meetings. And this applies to every single thing in your life. Never be late. It's something that literally pisses me off. But I'm not mad. I'm just talking. It shows me where your priorities are. Now, the necklaces and all that stuff, I don't know. I mean, it seems we're just in a flashy society of college football. I don't think Alabama's the only ones with the big chains and stuff like that. I mean, that's just guys in the NFL. Have you seen the way that they dress before the games? I don't know. But practice is something different. Workouts is something different. And you got to think, if that stuff was affecting Roq Montgomery, who is a Coach Saban guy, I'm glad to see someone stepping up and saying something about this. So this was just as impactful as a quote as Ryan Grubb coming in yesterday as well, being officially hired. Inside the comment box is saying, me as a young dude, it's definitely players saying that ain't Saban no more. 100%. Jeff inside the comment box said, we could have got that. Can Fox all this, let it go to work, Kyle? Yeah. Coach Kyle, yeah. I'm telling you, man, like, don't be late, period, to workouts, your events, whatever. So Roq Montgomery, hats off to you, man, for carrying that leadership torch. That's really good. It's really good to see at this point in time. William Smith inside the comment box saying NIL has them all twisted. For sure, because what happens is I feel that when you get paid before you've done anything, you become entitled and you're like, I already got paid. I'm just saying, I've been salary. I work month to month now. There's a big difference for me personally, my performance when I'm salary and when you're having to work every single day for the food that you put on the table. And I think sometimes when you get fed already, you lose hunger. What do they say? Hungry dogs run faster. That's why I always felt that you should get paid based on incentives, right? Catch 1,000 yards for me, then I'll pay you. Make the All-American team based on your own merits, then I'll pay you. Right? Get your master's degree, then I'll pay you. Stay here, be a leader, be a double captain, then I'll pay you. I will pay you to be a part of this program in some fashion as a freshman, but until you've done something noteworthy of being paid big money, you got to work for it every single day. And I'm going to keep track of how many times you were late for practice. I'm going to keep track of your grades, right? This is all going to be incentivized. I don't know. But Roq Montgomery, man, we love you and we appreciate that quote. So that interview, if you want to watch it in its entirety, coming from the Bama Standard. How about this young man right here, Patrick Surtain? This is a guy, look, when he came to Alabama, it was understood that he was going to do this in the NFL one day. 100%. This was the guy. This guy was cut under Coach Saban. Coach Saban was the defensive backs coach. Coach Saban held this guy to a high standard. You can look it up. I was just watching an interview this morning about Patrick Surtain Jr. talking about when Coach Saban ripped his ass because he didn't understand the right coverages. But he was doing it out of love because he knew that Patrick Surtain could perform at the highest level, which clearly, my goodness. And this quote right here is coming from Jordan Schultz of Fox Sports. The NFL's Defensive Player of the Year award isn't designed for cornerbacks to win. Only 2 DBs have won it since 2010. The Defensive Player of the Year is often stat-driven award, and lockdown corners simply don't rack up big numbers. True, right? But Patrick Surtain was truly dominant this season in a way we did not often see. Jordan Schultz, Fox Sports NFL analyst. Really good. These are the players right now, even the guys playing the NFL, holding that standard, that accountability, and you see where they're at in the NFL. You know what? The NFL is built by Bama guys who played under that standard, right? I would be willing to guess if you talk to Coach Saban about any of these guys and you would ask him which guys were late for meetings, it wouldn't be any of the guys that are the front runners of the top tier players in the NFL. I promise you. Coach Saban always talked about two things. What are they? Pride and performance. And you can't have pride and performance if you're not showing up early to practice, if you're late, if your grades aren't straight, if you're worried about how much money somebody's going to pay you before you've even earned it. Like, pride and performance goes onto the field. So Patrick Surtain, man, hats off to one of the greats here at Alabama. I think about this, man. We were able to watch within the last 7 years Patrick Surtain and Minkah Fitzpatrick, both on the defensive side, along with countless other guys who are also starting in the NFL on the defensive side and the offensive side of the ball. Jalen Hurts about to play for the Super Bowl along with Landon Dickerson, Devontae Smith, and a handful of other Philadelphia Eagles that rolled through Tuscaloosa. That's why we're rolling for the Eagles. But I know we have some Chiefs fans in here. And I don't know if the Chiefs are going to be able to lose the Super Bowl. Some people are saying that the officials like the Chiefs. I don't know. You know it's going to be down to the absolute wire. Chris from New Jersey, what's up, man? Byron, what's going on? It's a feel-good Friday. We got Alabama basketball, right? Tomorrow as well. Super Bowl. What are you guys cooking up for the Super Bowl? Yeah, I already had my coffee, so now I'm doing tea. I can't do like coffee all day long. I wish I could. It's just, I don't know. But I'm on the tea right now. Kimberly's going for the Eagles. All right, just in from Yale, Alabama. The homecoming game has been announced, and it's been set for November 15th versus Oklahoma. I love this. If you're coming to watch Alabama football and you haven't been to a home game, I encourage you to fight for tickets to come and see the Alabama Crimson Tide at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Ever since they put these lights at the stadium, it's unbelievable. They took it to a whole different level. I think it happened like 3 seasons ago or something like that. I can't remember. 4 seasons maybe. But it's a whole different atmosphere. That's why I was pointing out that it would be cool if Alabama did spring game at night. Robert, what's up, man? Good morning to you. But last season, why I like this game, maybe there was a little bit of thought process in this because obviously Alabama gets to pick when their homecoming game is, and they picked Oklahoma, a team that beat the brakes off them last season 24-3. I think it's April 12th for A-Day, but I don't think they've set a time. April 12th is A-Day, but I don't think there's been a time set. And the scary thing is the stupid transfer portal window is right on the back end. I think it's like, the 15th or the 16th? So Alabama will be on the front stage to showcase all their players, and then a couple days later you have a free agency window open. I don't like it. I don't think any coach likes it. A-Day at night would be tight. Oh, 2019. Thank you. Q3000. What's up, man? Andre 3000 up in here. 2019. Thank you. That's why I call you guys the undefeated, man. The undefeated don't miss. I was at that 2019 LSU game, probably one of the best college football games I've ever seen, period. Man, that was a crazy game. Jeff Stapleton on the NFL game, Super Bowl, saying, Eagles, too many weapons to choose from. And it starts with running the football. Saquon Barkley, man. I honestly feel that Saquon Barkley is one of the best running backs that we've had in the last, 15, 20 years? Justin Weaver inside the comment box is asking, would you be upset if they canceled A-Day because of the portal? Yeah, I think that's unrealistic to do. It's just they're going to have to fight one more season until there's just one transfer portal window, but you can't. I think what Alabama strategically is still trying to do is still trying to bridge the gap between kind of the people who don't fully believe in Coach Kalen DeBoer, because there's a small percentage after a 4-loss season, and they're still trying to build all that together. You know what? Last year, I was at A-Day, hung out with some of you guys. It was nice because it felt like we finally had time of closure to get together following Coach Saban. A lot of people like to break bread. You have an early tailgate. You get to rap with people that you haven't seen for a while. So it's a really good kickoff. And I think, if you were to cancel that, it also impacts the businesses that are here in Tuscaloosa. But, that second transfer portal window is going to come, and players are going to hit that transfer portal window. And that will probably be the last time that we do have 2 transfer portal windows. I would imagine that next season you have 1 window, and maybe that's in spring, or maybe it's somehow like in January. I don't know. But it needs to be just 1 window, not 2. But I like this game against Oklahoma. You know, the things that I think about Oklahoma, I would imagine that Oklahoma is going to be very good again. They got a really good, probably the number 1 transfer portal quarterback coming from Washington State. That guy's an absolute baller. Call me crazy, but I think if that guy would have transferred to Alabama, he'd probably be pushing for the starting spot. He's that good. And Brett Venables last year beat Coach Kalen DeBoer. And he was totally prepared for that game on the road in Norman. I thought, and I'm on record saying that Alabama would definitely handle Oklahoma in every single way, and that was the complete opposite. That game, that was probably one of the worst games that I've seen Alabama play since I've covered the team. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's the worst game I've ever seen them play. Not to open like an old wound, but I think that's just facts. So I love the fact that they're putting these guys at the homecoming game and another opportunity to square up with the Sooners. All right, it's Q&A Friday. I asked you guys to post questions inside the community tab. You guys did that. I'll roll through the questions, and then the back end of the show, if you have any additional questions about the team or you want to point something out or you want to talk about something in general, I'm open to it on our Friday show. All right, so first question in from Roll Tide Prods, right? How big a role will Jalen Hell play this season? Talking about the Alabama wide receivers. And I think this is a really good and interesting question because I think when you look to the wide receivers here at Alabama, you have plenty to choose from. And you have some really big names that are returning. Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard, first of all. And then you have Isaiah Horton, who's probably, in my opinion, the number 1 transfer that Alabama's brought in so far. So those are your 3 wide receivers that I would imagine are 1, 2, and 3, right? And then after that, you have another handful of wide receivers who are fully capable to be playmakers as well and will be playmakers at different points of the season. Now, with Jalen Hell, a player who suffered a very serious injury last spring, it's taken him some time to get to 100%. Now, we did see some footage of him during the Citrus Bowl, right, against Michigan, and he still didn't look 100%. A 100% Jalen Hell is probably the 4th best wide receiver on this team right now. Now, I don't know if he's 100% healthy right now. Will he be 100% by the season? Hopefully. He's that talented. He's very good. We saw him play, a couple seasons ago. He came in and, think about this. Jalen Hell caught for more yards than Kendrick Law did. Kendrick Law bounced out, and we were upset about that. But Jalen Hell, he probably would have pushed for a lot of playing time last year, if not been one of the starters. That's how good Jalen Hell is. And that's why this is a great question. I do feel with Ryan Grubb and new quarterbacks that you'll be able to work more wide receivers in the rotation and more wide receivers will get opportunities. I don't think it'll just be 2 wide receivers that are eaten, right? I think it'll be multiple wide receivers. Probably, I think 5 wide receivers will be fed this year in a healthy fashion. And I think, that maybe 8 to 9 overall, we'll see action. But I think you'll definitely get 5 guys who are getting frequent catches. See, Larry Large, I would probably agree with those type of numbers. So Larry Large inside the comment box is saying, I think Hell will catch for 30-plus balls and 5 touchdowns. Touchdowns are hard. Jeremy Bernard caught for 2 last year, right? So we don't know, about touchdowns. But, 30 catches, that seems reasonable, right? I would imagine that Ryan is 90-plus. I would imagine that Jeremy Bernard is, 60-plus. I would imagine that Isaiah Horton is 50-plus. And, your next wide receivers probably catch, over 25 passes. So there you go. But damn, Chad inside the comment box, I really hope that things are working out for this kid. Because if he's 100%, Alabama truly, truly has another absolutely dynamic wide receiver. Not to say that the other guys aren't. Because you could run through the roster as well, like Jalen Mbakwe. Curious to see how he's utilized. Rico Scott, very good. Bubba Hampton, don't forget about him. Don't forget about Cole Adams, who's really good. I don't think those guys are as talented as Jalen Hell that I just rattled off. And then you have Latsier Brooks and Derek Meadows. And that's no disrespect. It's just my opinion. I feel that Jalen Hill is that good. Flame for True says, could see Hill splitting time with Horton towards end. That I would co-sign on that, man. Getting him ready to be one of the next guys. And even when you go to the future of Alabama's wide receiver unit, Ryan Williams going to come back. Jalen Hill, I would imagine, comes back as well. Guys will transfer out, but the future is bright at the wide receiver unit. It's exciting to talk about that group, absolutely. Plus, we haven't really talked about this coach a lot, but Jamarcus Shepard, I really like Jamarcus Shepard. Right? Would you say that his approval rating is pretty high with you guys? I think he's a good coach. I like his energy. All right. Next question in from KTK. KTK, I always appreciate you inside the comment box as well, man. It's good to see you. Good people. He says, could we see a three-headed rotation of Jam, Richard Young, A.K. Deere, Draylon Washington, the same way we saw Ingram Richardson and Eddie Lacy? That's kind of what I'm thinking for the running back room. I think that Alabama's running back room is healthy enough and talented enough to be able to have some sort of rotation. And I don't think that Alabama will just feed Jam Miller. I think Jam Miller is capable to be that featured guy, but I think because they have a variety of guys that are ultra talented, they could do that. So like Jam, I would imagine that Richard Young is number 2. We'll find out in spring, I'm guessing. Draylon Washington seems like a little bit of a wild card. And then Daniel Hill, Kevin Riley, A.K. Deere, those are the guys like next in line. We got 228 up in the house. If you guys could hit the thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And for those of you guys that are super chat, sponsors or fan funders for only $2.99, I greatly, greatly appreciate it. This is my livelihood. This is how I get by, and I'm really appreciating you guys, as always. Do you guys think it'll be a balanced rotation, or do you think it'll be like a featured back? I think balanced 100%. Damn, but look at that, man. Ingram, Richardson, and Lacy. Oof. Kind of shows you how good those running backs were, right? Man. And Alabama had several running backs this past season in the NFL that did absolute work. Josh Jacobs, I don't know if you guys watch the NFL. I watched it. Josh Jacobs he had his best season. Najee did his thing. Jahmyr Gibbs, oh my goodness. Jahmyr Gibbs is getting faster and faster and faster every single game. He might be the fastest running back in the league. Yeah, I think it'll be Jam, and then I think they'll have a rotation of guys. But if I'm talking about like guys I'm really excited to see during spring football, Jalen Mbakwe, Richard Young. Of course, there's other guys that'll pop up on my list. Like maybe like I'm curious to see like Steve Mbua. How good is he? How good is this Cam Calhoun? That's a good topic. Who are like 5 guys you're really excited to see? Just had a tweet come in. Let's see what we got. So, University of Washington has Alexis DeBoer, Coach Kalen DeBoer's daughter, who's in the lineup against Alabama, and she's in the 3 spot, playing first base. So, if you watch softball, Katie Wyndham has a good tweet going out. That's what's up. So, yeah, I think some sort of a rotation. We got Herman R. Jesse, who's also on the show. What's up, Herman? He has Lynn Shannyfield. What's up? Good to see you, man. Herman R. Jesse is saying, good morning, Kyle. Do you think this updated coaching staff can get this group inspired to play hard and not soft? I saw the whole take, I think on the next round, talking about good cop, bad cop with Ryan Grubb coming in. I don't know if somebody comes in can get these guys to be inspired. But I will say this. I think considering you heard Roq Montgomery's comments recently, I think the mentality, I think these guys, and I'm talking about the players, understand that things got a little bit too lax and they need to tighten it up. Now, is the coaching staff and the coaching philosophy going to change like year over year? I don't know. It seemed to me that things got a little bit more lax behind the scene, but I'm not behind the scenes, so it seemed like it. From the things that you see, and people always joke around with like the ice cream truck, and I don't know if that like really played into like the team being soft. I do feel that teams felt that they could challenge Alabama more on each side of the football, which was concerning. Like one of the concerning comments I always go back to is like Shane Beamer, right, of South Carolina said, we knew we would have opportunities against Alabama's defense based on the way that they play. I don't like that mentality because there was a time where teams came in and they absolutely feared Alabama in every single way. I think that has changed. And that might be because of Coach Kalen DeBoer and his kind of lack, he doesn't seem as feared as Coach Saban, not even by 50 miles. That's not saying that he's not a good coach. He's just people feared Coach Saban. You were terrified of Coach Saban. Coach Saban was everybody's dad. Everybody's. That's all Lane Kiffin talks about is like Daddy Saban. Coach Saban, father of Billy Napier, father of Kirby Smart, father of Lane Kiffin, right? Mario Cristobal, father of everybody. Now Dad's gone. Who's going to be the new alpha? All those guys at Shark Tank. I don't know if Kalen DeBoer's a shark. The coaches in the SEC are mean and nasty. Will Reed, think about it. Yeah, it saved a lot of people's careers. Coach Saban was a vicious shark. Lynn's talking about the music at practice. Kyle, let's hope they cut the music at practice. See it last year yourself at practice, and I think we could agree it looked too lax. That was a thing that definitely stood out. It seemed like sometimes they were trying to like change stuff. Like, and look, I saw when they started to have, because during Alabama's time, they always have frequent guests and people come in, but I felt like they were just allowing anybody and everybody to come to practice, and like players were just talking whenever they wanted to. It seemed like kind of the gate was like open. I think you need to tighten it up a little bit more. I don't know. Good question, though. Ryan Wingo, what's up, man? After seeing how well Parker Brailsford performed, in my opinion, best offensive lineman last year, I'll probably agree with that. How do you feel that Coach Kalen DeBoer is bringing his philosophy in the offensive line of the SEC with some smaller, leaner players than we are used to? You know, when Parker Brailsford first came here, what was the first thing that we talked about? His size. Everybody, I think I was even on there. I was like, oh, he's not 315 pounds. This guy's going to get manhandled. Dude, Parker Brailsford held his own. I've seen Parker Brailsford a couple times outside of the facility. He didn't look that big. But he played big. And he's damn good. I am so glad that Parker Brailsford is coming back for this upcoming season. 3 wide receivers coming back. And Emmanuel inside the comment box is saying music okay, intensity and discipline needs to demand at practice, though. I kind of agree with that, because think about when you work out. You ever just work out with like no music? When you're working out and you have music, it's a little easier to get the blood pumping. I don't know. So I think of the linemen that Coach Kalen DeBoer has brought in. Let's see if we can think of a couple real quick. All right, Parker Brailsford, Geno Vandermark, right? And then some of the additional linemen that he recruited, like Jackson Lloyd and Michael Carroll. Neither of those guys are small, right? Like Michael Carroll, who knows if he'll be able to just absolutely just play right away. But I think with Parker Brailsford coming in, and that's why I'm wondering about if Alabama goes after Scott Huff, right? Because you could have as many coaches as you want. It just pertains to how many coaches can recruit. So if they wanted to bring in Scott Huff, I don't know if they're going to or not. And somebody asked me inside the comment box too, like, what title would he hold? I don't know. co-tackles coach. Who the hell cares? If he's a good coach, bring him in. More quality coaches, the better. And if you could pay him, all the better. Because Scott Huff led that Joe Moore Award team in 2023, right? When Washington went to the championship. Either way, Parker Brailsford was definitely a home run. And will be one of, I would imagine he's like an all preseason SEC guy. All right, random hero inside with the chat. Will Grubb put emphasis on the run game? I'm going to say yes. And here's the thing. I've thought a lot about this because I think originally I was thinking that just because of what happened last year at Seattle, that kind of is like his overall philosophy. But after listening to a couple Seahawks fans, they walked me off the ledge and they said that Seattle's offensive line had kind of deteriorated and they didn't have the running backs to do it. I don't know. I felt like they made some pretty good points. Plus, I mean, I had Jackson Smith and Jigba. Yo, Geno Smith was balling out. What, Seahawks still won, 10 games? You look at Ohio State. They were able to run the football. Notre Dame was able to run the football. A lot of the teams that made the playoffs, I felt, were able to run the football and had a balanced approach. And I feel that Grubb will come in here and utilize Jam. I mean, he ran the football in 2023 and 2022. Additionally, Random Hero asks, Washington wins the air raid offense, and Kenneth Walker regressed under Ryan Grubb in Seattle. Will he adapt to the SEC football and bring another 1,000-yard rusher to Alabama? Well, Alabama hasn't had a 1,000-yard running back in 3 seasons, right? While I think, I guess you could consider it air raid, but you know what's interesting is Washington's running back, Dylan Johnson in 2023 ran for 1,200 yards. They utilized everybody on that. I think the more I think about it, I think that they're going to have it'll be more pass heavy, but I think they'll be able to use the running backs as well. I don't think they're just going to disregard the running backs in any shape or form. They have to be able to run the ball. They have to. Damien, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. Good morning to you. Joe Johnston, what's up? Joe Johnson inside the comment box is saying this. Not just saying this because I'm a big fan, but in all honesty, watch out for this team this year. This ain't them being loyal to a few leaders that held them together for a new coach anymore. Joe, I appreciate you being here, man. I think that comment, that quote yesterday by Roq Montgomery really fired people up in a good way. And look, I don't necessarily have a problem with the chains and stuff like that, but I'd never seen bigger chains than Bama's guys were wearing last year ever. That's like a new thing. I get it. But damn, some of those chains were nice. They look heavy. Remember there was that guy for Alabama. He was like a staff assistant who was wearing all the chains, like all the players' chains. He was like keeping them safe. How much are those chains? Some of them, I think Ryan Williams had one that said it was like RW, right? Those chains are huge. All right. All right, Jay Bacon with some important stuff. Throwing up a prayer for the chat, folks, this morning. It's a crazy world. Hope y'all's families are more than well. No, man, I appreciate it. And I think, one of the areas that I always try to bring on the show is the positivity. And I always explain this, even on the calls, come with it with your opinion, and I'll never, belittle you. I want to just have dialogue and talk about Alabama football or college football in general and keep it a positive vibe. I get it. It's easy. And I was talking to my son about this recently. If you just, look at social media, you can get caught up in some really bad spaces. And I'm not talking about, politically or whatever. I'm just saying, go outside for a walk. Life is good, right? So, I try to keep an uplifting vibe on here. It's a good place to rap with Alabama football fans. So, yeah, J-Bay, come with it, man. I appreciate that. Kaylin DeBoss inside the comment box says, I hate how Tim Keenan was wearing shade and gold chains in the Vanderbilt game interview and didn't even sound like the slightest bit concerned. That did stand out to me as well. because he was wearing like the big shades and like the chain. And I love Tim Keenan. It was just something that did catch my eye. I'd never seen a player doing like wearing shades under Coach Saban. I don't know if that's like if that was against the rule, but I saw a lot of players doing that. Oh, Ryan has a 7-Eleven chain. Okay, yeah, I was wondering what the chain was that he had. I couldn't think of it. Yeah. 7-Eleven always open. That is clever as hell. He has some clever stuff that he does, man. That's what's up. 7-Eleven chain. Man, that's so good. All right. Berkwood in with the comment says, Ryan Grubb, what Alabama needs to make a natty run with Kalen, or could we do it without him? No, I think you needed oh yeah, Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid kind of started some of this, huh? No, I think Kalen DeBoer needed Ryan Grubb to win a natty here. Or to at least, let's just start here. Win an SEC championship or play for one or make the playoffs. Yeah, I don't think that Kalen DeBoer was going to be able to do this without Ryan Grubb. Do you guys agree? That's why I'm like, so someone said that I haven't stopped smiling since Ryan Grubb has been happy. I just feel like Coach Kalen DeBoer said yesterday, he's one of the best minds in all of college football. I don't think he's messing around with that statement either. I think he's 100% right. So having him come in with a new quarterback, yeah, I think it would have been very – I don't think Coach Kalen DeBoer would have won a championship without him. How tall is Keelan Russell? I think Keelan Russell, isn't he like 6'3" or 6'4"? No, he's got some height to him for sure. I think Coach Kalen DeBoer is like 6'2", and I think he's taller than Coach Kalen DeBoer. Ryan Grubb does look, he has like a natural mean resting face, right? I'm not going to say it on air, but like a resting bee face, right? He's got like the resting, he looks mad. He looks mean. You know who else looked mean was Kevin Steele. Kevin Steele looked mean. I kind of like the look. Yeah, so, yeah, Keelan Russell, 6'4". That's what I thought. All right, JJRMFT, we know what that stands for. Which quarterback are you hoping wins the competition? I want the best man to play, but Ty has been loyal to the program, and I think that should count for something. But the other two guys are physical specimens that we have never had before here at Bama. This is a tough situation. Resting Grubb face. So that sounds good. Yeah, resting Grubb face. That's good. I like that. Kevin Steele, right? He looked mean. Who am I hoping wins the competition? Well, I'm hoping that the best guy wins a job. And that's not like beating around the bush. I just want the best. So whoever we figure out, like, we'll all know. You know. Like, who was the best wide receiver for Alabama football last year? Ryan Williams. I mean, I guess you could say theoretically. Yesterday, I think I said it could have been Jeremy Bernard. But, like, we'll know who the best player is. I mean, from like a story standpoint, I guess like a true freshman winning the job would be like a great story to cover. But if Ty is ready to go, and I think he is, then it's hard to pull against him at this point in time, considering that he's shown loyalty to the program. But beyond top of that, like, if he's ready and he can execute and he can get the football to a bunch of different wide receivers and understand schematically where he needs to go with the football and down in distance, then let him do it. And until he can't do it, then give somebody else a job. And if it's Austin Mack, then let Austin Mack be the guy. But you do have two quarterbacks on this roster currently that are completely different than any other quarterbacks that we've had here at Alabama football. And that is Keelan Russell and Austin Mack, right? Has there been a taller quarterback or a 6'7" quarterback at Alabama? Under Coach Saban, was there? Who was the tallest quarterback under Coach Saban? I always ask these questions. Seriously, who was the tallest quarterback under Coach Saban? Because Austin Mack is every bit of 6'7". It is a tough situation. And I think this is a true quarterback competition. I would imagine if Vegas is putting odds on things, they'd probably have Ty Simpson as a starter. I think we all kind of imagine that Ty is going to get the opportunity to be the starter and is going to be taking first-team reps during spring ball. But, until these guys start executing and start leading the team in terms of winning games, then we'll know who the guy is. But I think we start out with the starter as Ty Simpson. Damn, Coker was 6'6"? Shoot. Wow. I didn't realize he was 6'6". So Joe's saying 6'5". Crimson Angel's saying Coker 6'6". Where's Jarvis been? Someone's saying he's 6'4". He keeps getting shorter and shorter. Thomas is saying, different perspective. Which QB are you comfortable with losing by not playing? Ooh, damn. And that's what I'm scared about. Brock, what's up, man? That's what I'm scared about with this spring window, right? That's why Coach Kalen DeBoer has to play chess during spring and has to have still a quarterback competition going into the season, because you don't want to basically name a quarterback, let's say the starter, and then you have some program come in and tamper to get one of the quarterbacks away, right? Because at all costs, you cannot lose Keelan Russell. Now, if Keelan Russell comes in and he's just balling out of control and he shines during spring and he's going to be the guy, I mean, who's to say that Ty Simpson doesn't get some big offer to go somewhere else? Cornwell was 6'5". Yeah, I was thinking like taller quarterbacks. So I don't think I've covered a quarterback here that has been 6'4", 6'3". I mean, Milrose probably like what, 6'2", 6'3", 6'2". Yeah, this is a good quarterback competition. I can't wait to see it unfold. We talked about this yesterday, was the quarterbacks, right? And kind of some of the things that we wanted to see from the quarterback room. And just kind of those first looks of Keelan Russell. But if you guys are here and you guys have questions for me inside the comment box or want to put anything up, let me know right now. Drop it inside the comment box. I'll read it on air. But if you're late to the show, I was talking about this. This is kind of something that we started out with, and this was kind of the meat of the beginning portion, was a quote by Roq Montgomery from the Bama Standard. Good people over there. Says, you can't be late to workouts no more. No more jewelry, no more necklaces, none of that. It's not a fashion show. It's football, right? And everybody was talking about this, and rightfully so, and breaking it down every single way. Straight up, this is a good thing because you have guys understanding that last year didn't give the results that these guys are used to. And they felt, can you imagine, right, what some of these Saban guys saw in terms of an immediate change and then not winning games? They don't want to, that's not the standard, right? So when you have Roq Montgomery saying these comments and you hear this, and I look, now we see every single thing on social media. Like the guys like dancing and stuff like that with TikTok. They're like teenagers. I got teenagers, man. So it's like they're going to do that type of stuff. Is it distracting from the team? I don't know. But being late to practice is like absolutely a no-go. Chris inside the comment box is saying, do you think Ty Simpson going to be good? Well, I asked a question a couple days ago. Is like, does Ty Simpson have the it factor? And we came to the consensus like we have no idea. Because there was games where we felt, damn, this is a great time to put Ty Simpson in. Like the game against Michigan was the best time to put Ty Simpson in, I thought. Because Milroe, like, the offense was completely sputtering. Things were going out of control. I felt, honestly, that was like a must-win game. Like, protection of, like, the brand. And for him not to play was like, what? I didn't understand that. Lynn Shaneyfield inside the comment box is saying, Kyle, what's your thoughts on if Julian, that is Lynn, was still at Bama, and Ty and Keelan Russell and Matt could be the best quarterback room in the country? Yeah, one of those guys would have left. I saw recently some footage of Julian saying, he was spinning the ball at Ohio State. We were really excited about him. Because remember, he early enrolled and he went out to the team and practiced at the Rose Bowl before Michigan, and then he left after Coach Saban. No, he's a good quarterback. I would imagine that he's going to be the starter this year for Ohio State. Now, he was a highly touted quarterback. Now, if he was here, oh my goodness, one of those quarterbacks would 1,000,000% leave in the transfer portal. I think he's going to be a good quarterback for sure. Plus, he has all those wide receivers. And I guess Hartline will now be the offensive coordinator, right? But they got their wide receivers too, man. Jeremiah Smith is, man, that guy is so good. It's hard to believe that he's a freshman. The things that he was doing. Myron inside the comment box is saying we need a facilitator at the quarterback manager, a guy that can spread it around and make the right plays. Yeah. And that's what I think. I feel that Ty is going to be that guy. I've said this a bunch of times when I talk about Ty Simpson is I think back to that Wisconsin game, and I think that back to that Kentucky game. I felt that he ran the offense really well against Kentucky, and then against Wisconsin in the small opportunities that he had. He had a couple nice throws, like intermediately working the ball downfield, and I think he connected, if I'm not mistaken, with Caleb Odom a couple times. Now, what we don't know as well is, like, can these guys, take a pounding? Because that Jalen Milroe popped up every single time. The guy got sacked. How many times did he get sacked in 2023? Like 44 times? I never saw him down one time. Oh, my God. Could you imagine if Tua was back there, in 2023? Jeez. Jalen Milroe got up every single time. Keelan Russell got hurt in this All-American game. You see the hit that he got? That was terrible. Marcus Cottrell, what will it take to win the right tackle starting position? I do kind of get the feeling that Alabama really believes in Wilcom Formby. And if they're believing in him, then so should we. You've seen guys improve year over year. Wilcom Formby, I think we should root for him. He's a hometown guy. He's got the size. I think he's best friends with Caden Proctor. 2 tackles, right? Jackson Lloyd seems kind of like a dark horse guy there. Michael Carroll seems like we're going to see if he could play the right tackle position as well. I would imagine that Alabama goes into the transfer portal for a tackle or multiple tackles after the spring game. William was asking, has the strength and conditioning changed under Coach Kalen DeBoer? I don't think so. It's only been a year, but David Ballou was a key piece to staying here, just as Jeff Allen. Those guys have been pillars. So David Ballou's quality, high quality, one of the best in the business, 100%. Scott Jackson, what's up, man? Good to see you inside the comment box. Good morning to you. Scott is saying, I thought Ty didn't get enough credit for Bama's win over South Florida. Yeah, he came in. That was a weird game. Remember Tyler Buckner came in and just threw the ball into the ground? Maybe we didn't give Ty enough credit. That was just a weird game. But yeah, he did. Ty Simpson has played in 16 games. 16. But last year when he came in, it was just kind of, run the clock out. It was kind of like it wasn't even like a closing pitcher. He just kind of like ended the game. He didn't even get to throw it downfield or whatever. I guess against Mercer, he had a couple deep balls. We don't mention Buckner. Is he still on the roster at Notre Dame? Because if he is, now he's teammates with Devontae Smith. No, I think he went back and he was playing football. Because the NCAA had this rule where you couldn't go back somewhere and play the same sport So he decided to play lacrosse, which I think he's like a world-class lacrosse player. And then he came back in and he was able to play football, right? Darren Jenks is like, we don't talk about Buckner. That was crazy, right? That was one of Tommy Reese's guys. Fitness uplifting, saying inside the comment box, Ty didn't do too much in South Florida game. Bama literally ran the ball like 50 times in a row until they scored. They really haven't given this guy opportunities. We've seen a little bit of Simpson in like even spring. He's seen action in like spring games where he's looked good. Ty Simpson's had 2 really good spring games. Kimberly's asking, who's going to watch the Super Bowl? I'm going to watch the Super Bowl. I always do. I'm going for the Eagles. I would love to see Jalen Hurts win a Super Bowl. Hattie Mae, what's up, man? Good to see you. Hattie Mae coming to us from Birmingham. Hope all is well in the chat. Kyle and T. Roll Tide, baby. Feels better this year already. Yeah, Rocketown, I keep telling people about that play against Mercer that Ty Simpson had as well. Mason's going to have a party for the Super Bowl. That's what's up. All right, fam. You guys have a good show today? Feel good Friday? I appreciate you guys rocking with me today on Friday, February 7th. Remember, later on in the day, these are uploaded to iTunes, Spotify. You can interact with us on our Facebook account as well, or interact with me. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. The weather is nice. Man, it was 65 degrees this morning for the workout. Be grateful. Have gratitude. Roq Montgomery showing leadership. That's what's up. Ryan DeGrub in. That's what's up. Keelan Russell in. That's what's up. Michael Carroll working on things. That's what's up. Alabama will play for some major targets in 2026. We'll talk about them when they commit to Alabama. But I ain't going to spend too much time on like a guy who has Alabama in their top 12. Like, commit and we'll talk about you, right? And I want these guys to stay committed. So it's kind of nice that they just have one commitment. But I want these guys to commit, then decommit. Like, just wait. If it takes you a while to commit to the program, that's fine. But, like, make a commitment and stick with it. Enjoy your day. Be good people. Be blessed. I love you guys, and I appreciate the continued support right here on Bama Football on YouTube. My name is Kyle Anderson, and this is another Bama Football Live, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central Time, right here on Bama Football on YouTube. See you, fam. Enjoy your day. Take it easy.